Today is the 22nd of November. A new patch just dropped, and I'm going to summarize it for you in around 7 to 10 minutes. First of all, the matchmaking. The matchmaking pools are no longer split between normal and ranked. There will only be one game mode, there will only be one matchmaking mode, and there are no more limited hours. Badges will update immediately when you gain or lose enough MMR to change badges. Hero MMR is now used in the matchmaker. Each player will have a core MMR, and when you queue, we will match you based on the hero's MMR. And your hero's MMR will be based on whether you're new to the hero or not. So, for example, if you're playing Abrams and you're new, it's your first game, they will match you with other players in the same situation. And it'll be based on the 20 most recent games with that hero. Leaderboards are also included. It is per region, and there will be a top 1000 core MMR and a top 1000 hero MMR. You can queue as any party size, and when you queue as a party, you can prioritize putting your party members in the same lanes together. A lane swapping feature has been added to the game modes. During the starting phase of the game, you can ask to switch lanes without physically doing it. Going to the general changes, Quick Buy was last seen added in on the last patch last week, where you can queue items to buy, and now in this patch you can also now queue items to sell. The Rejuvenator buff now shows what stats have been improved. Certain active items has been changed. Items like Curse, Slowing Hex, Decay, Withering Whip, Silence Glyph, Knockdown, they no longer interrupt sliding. There's been a new run animation added for 7, and the weapon fire sound has been changed for 7 and Paradox. New voice lines have been added for the Patron, Bebop, Viscous, Paradox, and Calvin. Moving on to gameplay. Walkers are going to be much stronger now. They deal 10% max HP per stomp, and the lasers now deal 2% max HP DPS. And the walkers now provide nearby allied heroes 25% bullet and spirit resistance. Walkers now also have a resistance based on how many nearby enemies there are, so they are more tanky against a large attacking team. Middle lane walkers HP increased from 5800 to 8000, that is a 2200 HP increase for the middle lane patron, the walkers. The patron laser now also deals 3% max HP. And the flex slots changed from all shrines to 1 shrine and 2 base guardians. Trooper soul orbs have been changed. Now you get slightly more souls on kill than in orbs. And the medic troopers now has 3 charges of heal instead of 2. Improved various issues with heavy melee versus dash parry when there's latency. So no longer, I think you'll get hit by like lagging heavy melees when you parried already. Killing the first patron now causes any existing enemy hero respawn to be reduced by 20 seconds, but it doesn't reduce remaining respawn time lower than 10. The bridge power-ups now require a heavy melee to claim, and the power-ups now starts weaker and grows stronger from 10 minutes to 40 minutes. Here are all the updates here, highlighted in gray. I won't go over it because it's minimal, but just so you know, it starts off really weak, and then it starts becoming stronger. The earn time reveal has been increased by 5 seconds, and the first earn bounty reduced from 4,000 to 3,000. The rooftop neutral camps on yellow and purple have been moved closer to the Guardian. The side lane teleporters to the cross base are now under the hard camps. Okay, moving on to heal and anti-heal for heroes. Abrams' Siphon Life has been reduced by 25%, it heals much less, and 10% for non-heroes. Everything highlighted in purple will be around 5% to minus 3% changes. Dynamo has been slight nerfed, and Furnace, Ivy, Kelvin, Lash, McGinnis, Mo, and Crow. Basically all the heroes that has lifesteal nerfed slightly. And for Pocket, Affliction level 2 healing reduction reduced from 60 to 50% by a whole 10%. Warden, Last Stand hero lifesteal reduced from 100% to 80. Most of the items saw a slight nerf as well, but the most important one is Vampiric Burst. Bullet lifesteal has been reduced by 20%, from 100 to 80. Now, weapon items. The most important thing I want to talk about here is the new tier 3 weapon item, Spellslinger. It is called Spellslinger Headshots. It is basically a spirit version of Headhunter. Landing a headshot on enemy heroes increases your total spirit power, cooldown, grants weapon damage, spirit amp, and lifesteal. Glass Cannon now requires slowing bullets and grant the slow passive. The item Silencer tier 4 has been completely reworked. It passively builds up on enemies, silencing them for 2 seconds and then reducing spirit damage by 40%. And enemies affected cannot be affected again for 12 seconds. But Vitality items, Return Fire now requires extra regen, so extra regen would be more of a popular item. And Rescue Beam, cooldown has been increased by 10 seconds and pull speed has been reduced by 15. Metal Skin now makes you heavier on active, reduces your move speed by 1.5, and Superior Stamina now increases wall jump count by 1. For the spear items, Silence Glyph no longer a tracking projectile. It is a aim-based projectile that silences on impact, so I'm assuming you can miss as well. And the cooldown has been reduced by 8 seconds. There's been a new tier 3 spirit item as well. It's called Spirit Snatch. It requires Spirit Strike. It causes your melee attack to steal 12% spirit resist and 26 spirit power for 16 seconds. It has a 6-second cooldown, and the buffs you receive stacks if you hit different enemy heroes. Another tier 3 spirit item got added, Arcane Surge, and it requires Kinetic Dash, the tier 2 weapon item. After successful landing a dash jump, the next ability you use will have a buff. 20% damage, 20% duration, spirit power, grants health, stamina, basically an overall buff when you hit your next dash jump. Diviner's Kevlar no longer grants spirit lifesteal. Instead, it grants 7% ability duration. Now I'm in pocket, that's going to be really good for pocket ults. Refresher cooldown has been increased by 30 seconds. Moving on to hero changes. The most significant changes are for Great Talon's Trap. It now tethers targets rather than rooting them, so it'll be similar to Vindicta's Stake. And the Haze's Smoke Bomb changed, tier 1 changed from 14 seconds to +6 invis sprint speed, so you're immediately so much faster when you hit Smoke Bomb. And the Smoke Bomb tier 3 change phases out for 0.5 seconds on cast. It is basically, you're basically to be out of world. So you can evade like curse, certain abilities for 0.5 seconds. Really, really strong in my opinion. And the haze fixation damage versus objectives has been reduced by 30%. Minor changes to Infernus, Ivy, Calvin, McGinnis, Mirage that I won't touch up on, but the Mirage Traveler can now be cast by targeting the top bar portraits, so I'm assuming it doesn't need visibility on map anymore. You can just TP to whoever, which is insane. Slight changes to Moan Curl, Paradox, 7 Shiv, Vindicta. You guys can read it if you like, it'll be highlighted in purple. But for Viscous, the Puddle Punch can now be parried. It is not stun, but only blocks the Puddle Punch. Warden. Alchemical Flask now respects line of sight. And for Yamato, the Shadow Transformation no longer heals on cast. The transformation now heals for 50% of your max HP on hero kill. And that's it. I've kind of rushed this since I'm a bit late on the patch notes, but this is my first time doing it. Let me know if you have any tips and any advice you want to give me for future patch notes. But I just wanted to make a different video. Instead of a 30-minute, 40-minute, an hour-long patch notes, it is just a summary that basically a TLDR. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.